Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Usually at the end of the evening is when thank yous are made, but I want to do so now. It has been an extraordinary honor and privilege, the height of my rabbinic work, to call this family my family for almost 30 years. And I see people who here were at the beginning of the journey and people who came along the way. And one of the constants has been the woman who's going to help us achieve a kind of spiritual understanding, a self-knowledge, by interacting with our tradition, our words. Some people say, how can that be? I don't know Hebrew. These are not my words. This is not my language. And what Cantor Benji Schiller's taught me over all the years I've known her is the most important thing is to open your heart. Let yourself be open to feelings that you might not feel at another time. That on Shabbat we don't do, we simply are. And every one of you is adequate, more than adequate. Every one of you is enough. And so you'll see some things, if you haven't been coming to services recently, that you may not see. You may see me dancing with children here. You may hear people clapping. The antithesis of the Reform service I grew up with, which was sitting stone still. We don't do that anymore. As we open the heart, we open the spirit, and the possibility of relating in song, in rhythm, with instrument and voice, all of that which God has given us for gratitude, for joy, for praise, for understanding of bar mitzvah students who begin their awesome journey tonight. Without any hesitation, I'd like to bring forward Cantor Benji Schiller. I do want to also say that our slides tonight have been prepared by Rabbi Karen Gorbin. I want to thank Carol and Rick Rosenthal, who's made everything possible this week. And there are plenty of seats on this side and over here. And don't be afraid to come up. Move up. Be assertive. The Jewish people, that's how we are in the world. Our first song tonight, you want to talk about a Zamra?
Azamra lelohai be'odi. I will sing to you. I will sing out with all that I have. Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav teaches be'odi. Sometimes we're not ready to praise. Sometimes we're actually not ready to offer prayer. We're not sure where to find that strength, that conviction, that loving heart. Be'odi, he teaches, is that little extra. Od. We can think about something that's a blessing in some way, shape, or form in our lives. Summon that in this moment. And collectively, we'll summon the energy and the strength to be present for this Shabbat, this sacred anniversary, this sacred moment, all together. Azamra Elohai Be'odi. I will sing to you with all that I have.
Oh
family up. It's our custom that bar mitzvah students, in celebration of their incredible weekend, help lead us in candles and kiddush to begin the Shabbat. As you are able, please rise for those prayers in your seats.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindled light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'achava uvratzon chin halanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom zehila limikra'e kodesh zecher litiyat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kadshecha be'achava uvratzon chin haltanu baruch atah Adonai mikadesh Shabbat.
The most beloved of all Shabbat songs is called Lecha Dodi. Shabbat is a bride. Barry, you want to come up? It's fine. We'll dance with you up here. You may see us dancing with kids, which is just fine. Emmy, if you want to dance tonight, we're dancing, okay? Oh, no, thank you, Rabbi Jamie. That's great. All the verses will be up here. If you are following in your book and want to sing the last verse in the book, it's on page 21. It's our custom to rise and face the rear for the last verse. When we sing the last phrase, Bo'i kala, we bow to the side as if maybe the bride is about to enter from just having had her picture taken out there, or maybe the bride will come in over here from the parking lot. That'll be interesting to see that happen. But we imagine this beautiful bride whose presence graces us every single Shabbat. We sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. If you know the tune, join in. If you don't, you'll know it by the end. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi B'nei Shabbat nikabela. V'amor zachor v'diborecha nishme'anu. Shabbat, Lechu v'nechel chahakim mekor. Left. Left. Hands up. Lecha, lecha dodi, lekrakala. I'm getting dizzy. Lekabela, lecha dodi, lekrakala. Pene Shabbat. Hitorri. Go the other way. Hitorri kiva orech. Kumi ori, ori, ori. Shir dabe. Gavoda. Allah. Last time. Lechado. Okay, make a line. Make a line. I'm right here. Please rise and face the rear. We bow to the left, and then bow to the right. Be seated.
Continue with words from Psalm 93.
Mikolot Mayim Rabim. Look at the waves crashing. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea, is Adonai, majestic on high. You go. Mikolot.
Welcoming in Shabbat with the sound of waves crashing, with even greater than the sound of waves crashing upon the shore, we now turn to something a little bit more peaceful, to the angels that we greet on Shabbat. But it's really not that peaceful because we really want to welcome them in joyously. Shalom Aleichem, whenever you're ready to welcome in the angels.
Ready? Here we go. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hatanet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachei Shalom. Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We went through a lot of Shalom Aleichem really quickly.
So I'll tell you, one of the ways I've come to love Cantor Schiller's music is this. In the prayer book, it's placed alongside the Chatzi Kaddish, which we usually use to end the Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms and go into the regular part of our worship, Baruch Hu with the blessings for the Shema. There's this beautiful, beautiful poem. Is this Rachel or Leah Goldberg?
Leah Goldberg.
Leah Goldberg. Teach me, O God, a blessing of prayer. Lamdani means teach me. That's the chorus you will hear. You might even choose, just close your eyes and let the words and the images and the music sweep over you as we prepare ourselves to enter into the Shema with its blessings.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, unripened fruits so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your day.
seated. We turn now to a blessing of the wonders of the mixing of light into dark and dark into light, and especially at this time of year when the darkness comes earlier and earlier. Sometimes we don't even get to see the beauty of that light. We can still acknowledge the wonders of light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll on the light, roll on mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into light, clap, roll into dark. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll on mipnei choshech. Last time, roll into dark, roll into light. Light becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Amen.
With a blessing for creation, we continue with another one of the core experiences of Jewish history, which is revelation, the receiving of Torah. We acknowledge the gift of God's love through the Torah.
Ahavat olam, an enduring love. Ahavat olam, Bnei Yisrael.
Please rise as you are able as we prepare for Shema. Thank you, Lenore. You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לדודפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The question is, what does that mean? And we join together in English an interpretation of how we can take those words and enact them in our lives. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today.
Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work.
Whether you are tired or you are rested.
Let them guide the work of your hands.
Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue with the third of our foundational Jewish experiences, that of redemption. We sing a song of redemption, Mi Chamocha.
Before you start, Mi Chamocha is going to lead right into the chorus of Debbie Friedman's Miriam's song. I hope to have some women who will dance with me up here, and not just little ones. Emmy has said she's tired and is not going to be dancing tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. But so it's a pretty easy tune. It goes right into the familiar Miriam's Song chorus, which will be up on the board for people to see. Okay? Time. 1, 2, ready, and the women dancing with their timbrel followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song, the one that we exalt. Miriam and the women dancing. Last time. 1, 2, ready, and the women dancing with their timbrel followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song. Exalted, Miriam and the women dance and night long. Woo!
Turn to words of Hashkivenu, hoping for peace and protection through the night.
the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. Hamidenu shomreinu Make it beautiful now. When we sing well, I like to say we're going on the road next week. You'll all get emails where our first stop is, to bring God into space, into life. Even when we talk about going to sleep and waking up renewed, it's an extraordinary thing that you have done. We have a way to end this prayer. It's called a chatima. I think we do.
We do have a chatima, it's just not in the slide.
Oh, so Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Ethan, come on up here. It's Vishamru time. So there, let's sing it again. Last time, Veshamru. Well, there's more for you to do tomorrow, but these wonderful young women here want to talk to you just a second. Come right into the microphone, say who you are, please.
Hi, I'm Mara.
And I'm Sarah.
Oh, wait a minute, isn't there something first you want to say to your mother?
Oh, happy birthday, Mom. She's the flautist over there. It's her birthday.
Oh my gosh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. Oh. We won't make you skip around the room. Now, please, if you will. Here, I'll take this. They want to talk to you.
We are from Temple-Side Party, also known as Pittsburgh Area Reformed Temple Youth. We're from the board. And we have this lovely party board shirt for you. Ooh! Ah! And we really look forward to seeing you coming to some of our events and joining the youth group. Really hope to see you. Oh yeah, you gotta show the group, show everyone how great it looks on you. Yeah. Especially Sinai Under the Stars, which is coming up in December. We really hope to see you there.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Right.
Tell your
Mazel tov.
friends. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Say Yesher Koach to him, please. The middle part of our service, the prayer, is called the Amidah. The prayer said standing. And the first fragment of it is actually the most challenging. We pray to God that we actually be able to open our lips to pray. As you are able, please rise for the beginning of the Amidah.
We continue with words from Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel about the meaning of Shabbat. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space, 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We join together in a prayer asking God to accept our worship. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers, wherever we live, wherever we see you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch
atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And finally, a prayer of gratitude that not only acknowledges the blessings that we have in our lives, but also the blessings that we can make in our world.
What is this picture? Does anybody recognize the picture? It's from January. It's from O'Hare Airport, after the travel ban, before it was set aside. A Muslim girl on her father's shoulders carrying a sign saying empathy, and a Jewish boy in his kippah on his father's sign saying, we've seen this before, never again. Together, goodness in the world is what we pray for and give thanks for together, please. For the good in us which calls us
to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'er hodot. That hope for tomorrow is a hope of peace. We sing a song of peace. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata
With all of the prayers and songs that we've sung, we haven't yet really had the opportunity to offer the prayers that we don't share with our ancestors or even with the people sitting right next to us. And so I invite you now to take a few moments to offer the prayers of your hearts.
When I hear the words Bimromav on high, and I hear your voices, I have an intimation of what that is about. It's our custom every time we gather to take note, to feel, to understand that there are those who cannot be with us because of illness of body, mind, or spirit. And that's why we offer a Mishaberach. Tell me the key again. B flat. Okay, I'll try that. Try, give me B flat. And it's our custom to say that this prayer is not one we do for you, it's one that you participate in, and we offer you several ways to do so. In a minute, I'm going to look at your part of the congregation. If there's somebody for whom you wish healing on this Shabbat, I'm going to ask you to say their name. You might say it out loud. You might say it under your breath. You might just hold that name and not say it out loud. Hold it in your heart. You use the Hebrew name. You say the name of that person, and you say the name of the mother. There's a wonderful tradition that healing is in the name of mothers. And please, class is over. Do not raise your hand. Just call out the names and let them collide into each other in a prayer. And then you can sing along with us. You can simply say amen to each verse. Or as I said, you can let the words just wash over you as a prayer. Looking at your part of the congregation, call out names of anybody for whom you wish healing of body, mind, or spirit. In hospital, in nursing home. Somebody who simply walks the earth with a stone on the heart, or face the daily battles of sobriety. Somebody for whom you wish peace and surcease on this Shabbat, this sacred moment in time. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. My teacher, my friend, my spiritual guide and master, Benji Schiller.
This week is Parshat Vayera, and in the very first verse is the teaching I'd like to offer today. Vayera elav Adonai belone mamre, v'hu yoshev petach ha'ochel, kechom hayom. God appeared to Abraham by the terebinths of Mamre as he sat, that is, Abraham sat at the opening of the tent in the heat of the day. And it goes on to say Abraham lifted his eyes And behold, he saw 3 men we know as malachim, angels, who were standing beside him. And he ran toward them from the entrance of his tent, and he prostrated himself to the ground. Abraham, the rabbis say, takes a seat and positions himself, petach ha'ohel, at the opening of his tent. Rashi cites a midrash explaining that Abraham deliberately placed himself at the opening to the tent, right there, because he was ready to welcome any passersby to come, who might come by his home. And so he not only situates himself in a way that can cultivate the needs of others, but we learn also that Abraham situated himself to an awareness of what is occurring in him, moment to moment. That posture of welcome, of readiness to receive. He's ready. And we knew he's just recovering from a circumcision. This is big stuff here. But he situates himself right there. He is ready to fully receive the other. Martin Buber teaches that our presence, like Abraham, with one another, fully receiving the other, enables sacred presence to enter the relationship. In other words, it's not just you and me and us. Sacredness enters, God's presence may enter in the midst of that encounter. Open heart relationship. On this Shabbat Vayera, this anniversary Shabbat in this very community, I'd like us to consider the essential element of community as I see it. Hachnasat orchim, gracious welcome and hospitality. Honoring the presence of one another, taking care of each other. Hachnasat orchim, welcoming the guest so that that person feels no longer a guest. Rabbi Lawrence Hoffman was quoted as saying, a community is a place where someone can ask, how are you? And the answer doesn't have to be, fine. What is a caring community? One in which its members invest their whole selves to the work of being present for ourselves, for each other. Michael and Sharon Strassfeld in the Jewish Catalog say, in a sacred community, we gather not because we're friends or because we necessarily agree, but simply because we need each other to go on being who we are. The very act of working together within a congregation, l'shem shamayim, for the sake of doing so, is a mitzvah. For the sake of heaven, working together, communing together, is the mitzvah in itself. This way of being, when I think about it, I think of Temple Sinai. I think of this community. It is the paradigm set by your leaders. That's who they are. That's what they show all of us. And it is a mode of being I see all around me. It's the image you set for yourselves. And it's the image you project to the larger community. That's what I see this community as being. Welcoming, inviting, honoring, taking care of one another. Al tifros min hatzibur, say the rabbis, don't separate yourself from the community. The synagogue is the place where we can be who we are and receive each other as who every one of us is. A wonderful midrash, a story, taught by Rav Mendel Toram of Rymanov, teaches that on every human face is the imprint of God in the shape of an aleph, the letter aleph. So when a Torah scribe, a sofer, writes an aleph, he writes a slanted vav with 2 yuds. I wish we had this on a projection, but a slanted vav with 2 yuds hanging on either side. According to the Midrash, the vav is symbolized by the bridge of our nose, and the 2 hanging yuds symbolized by the eyes. Take a look at someone next to you. See if you can see the vav going down through their nose and the 2 yuds as 2 eyes, aleph. You see it? I know it takes a little imagination. The 2 yuds and the vav equal 26. The same number as the letters of God's name. And this aleph could also stand for Anochi, the eye of God, whose letters add up to 26. I know you're not going to see an olive yet, but keep looking. You might find it. The point is this. The teaching of the rabbis is that each one of us carries the marker of creation emboldened on our face. We each are a manifestation of creation, every single one of us. And the very fact that we were created and brought into this world means that we carry this sign. And when we notice the aleph in another living being, what the rabbis teach us to see is the interconnectedness of all humanity. To see that aleph on the face of someone we do not like, perhaps do not trust, perhaps fear, can actually remind us of the innate humanity residing even in this human being. It can teach us to try, when it's appropriate, to forgive and understand the other in a powerful way. So we are part of a life force existing beyond us, connecting to all living beings. And despite the fact that we forget this, we have a code, and it's this mark on our face that reminds us that there is actually no such thing as ultimate separateness. We are connected. We are in some way as one. So permit me to share a personal story. 9 months ago this week, I walked into a hospital room to meet my granddaughter, my first grandchild, 20 minutes after she emerged into the world. This tiny being in my daughter's arms manifested God's creation before my eyes. Barely born, yet fully formed in many ways. She was new and unique to this world, and the life force that permeated every finger and every toe. And as deeply connected as I felt to her, her face, that olive, was one I had never seen before. It was new. There was something familiar about it, but it was also kind of strange that here was a new face. I didn't know what to expect. It was timeless, this face, yet of that very moment. It was an individual and is like no other, stamped with God's imprint, connecting her through time and space to eternity, as are all The shape and size of the aleph varies. Yet we are all marked. We are all created. No matter who we are and where we are, the life force surges through. The trick in this teaching is to remember to look for it, that aleph. It represents wholeness, oneness of life. And what the rabbis are trying to teach us here is that when we interact with the perspective of this aleph, we sanctify creation and our role in it. So let's go back to Abraham for a moment. Remember him ready, even though he's healing from surgery, he sits at the Petach HaOhel ready to encounter, to receive, to connect, to relate, to be generous. And the strangers do come. That's our model. And I want to cite one more model for Hachdasat Orchim, for welcoming. Fast forward in time in the Torah. We've now fled Egypt. We've crossed the sea. We've been redeemed. And we've become a people as we make our trek through the wilderness. And we are now being given instructions by God about how to conduct ourselves in the land that we are about to inherit. In Deuteronomy 26, when we get to the land, says God, anticipating our arriving in the land, and we settle, and we grow our crops, and we harvest the first fruits. What are we to do? We save a portion, but not just any portion, the best, and the best of the first fruits. We take them, we put them in a basket, and we bring them to a place that God tells us and shows us. We make an offering, and in doing so, says God, this is God speaking, my name will be known between you, among you. Message, to be a sacred people. We offer our fruits. We put our fruits in a basket. Maybe sometimes it's the best that we can offer. Maybe it's just what we have. But we bring it, like Abraham, into the basket and offer it. And in so doing, we bring God's presence in. This is what we do, all of us do, in a sacred congregation. We offer. Bring the best of yourself. Bring the fruit of your life. Bring the gift of your heart. And let my name be known between you. Bring all that you are. Bring the best you can be. Bring the gift of your heart to me. Between lover and loved, between soul and soul, let my name be known between you. Between lover and loved, between soul and soul, and let my name be known between you. Bring the best of yourself. Bring the fruit of your life. Bring the gift of your heart and let my name be known between you. Bring all that you are. Bring the best you can be. Bring the gift of your heart to me. Between lover and loved, between soul and soul, let my name be known between you. Between lover and loved, between soul and soul. L'shakein shemo sham. Let my name be known between you. This tefillah, this service tonight, is really an effort of love. It is a product of a lot of collaboration from an incredible group of instrumentalists who we were rehearsing until the last minute. This wonderful band, you know them well. I'm just meeting many of them, or some of us have worked together. You are great sports and have a generosity, and boy, you have a real excitement when you play. It was so much fun to make that music together. To this incredible choir. And the devotion that they bring to learning the music. And their leader, Ellen, and all she brings. And to Laura, who leads this band and reassured me an hour before the service that all was going to be fine. To a colleague of mine with whom it's a real treat to reunite, and that's Kendra Laura Berman. And singing that Oseh Shalom with you a few minutes ago brought me to tears. I had to sit over there just to recover. It was really incredible, and as are you. And to Rabbi Gorvin and your incredible work up here and all you do, Karen. It's just such a gift to be with you and see you as the rabbi here in this community. And to Carol, who, as you all know, behind the scenes makes so much of this effortless Shabbat possible. Thank you. And to my friend and colleague and my teacher and spiritual guide, Rabbi Jamie Gibson, I have no words to say adequately how much I thank you for our relationship, for this invitation once again to be here. For me, it's the true offering, a gift, to be invited in to this community for this moment. And I celebrate it, and I'm just so honored. So we Jews have a way of expressing gratitude for arriving at a moment. A beautiful prayer that we will say together in a minute to express our thanks and appreciation for living in such a way that we made it to this moment and that we are here to celebrate it, this anniversary, this Shabbat, this communal coming together. So if you'll join me in a moment, we're going to recite it all together. And then the choir and Ellen and I are going to be singing a new version of Shehecheyanu. If the melody seems at all possible to sing, we strongly encourage you to join us. We need your help. It's new. It's our way of expressing incredible appreciation to be in this community and to live to see this moment. Together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Melech HaOlam, Shehecheyanu, V'kiyamanu, V'hikiyanu, Lazman Hazeh.
us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season, enabling us to praise to you, Adonai, Son of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season, enabling us to reach this
Yes, there's the kid with the megaphone. That's me. Following tonight's service, we have a Shabbat dinner for those who signed up in the Falk Auditorium. There will be an oneg in the plaque area as well for those who are not staying for dinner. If you have a reservation, please enter the Falk Auditorium through the center doors that I'm pointing to, right behind the Lebov Sanctuary. Judy Mahan and Drew Barkley will be at a table to check you in. Please check in with them before finding a seat at a table, and tonight's dinner is open seating. If you're not staying for the Shabbat dinner, we invite you to have a nosh over there to my left, to your right as you enter out of that door. There's much happening tomorrow. If you want to have more experience of the spirituality of Cantor Benji Schiller, come to pray with us tomorrow at 9:15 upstairs in the wonderful chapel we have, in the chapel where we make an incredible spiritual magic, a magic every single week on Shabbat, 9:15. There's 8:30 Torah study in the Lockhart Lounge, and 9:15 will be the Minyan. 10:30, Ethan, going to be there? Okay, you'll be there. And boy, were you strong tonight, and I heard your Torah reading yesterday. I am so pumped to hear your Torah reading tomorrow, and so delighted for your entire family. It is wonderful. The Barnett Chapel, as I said, for the Minyan at 10:30 will be the bar mitzvah service. There will be a concert tomorrow night called Jamie and Friends. Just to give you a preview for those who are on the fence, we have tried to let a lot of people know about it. It has all kinds of music going on. There's Sondheim being sung with me and Andy Leo. There is our choir singing not only on their own, but with the Baptist Temple Church Choir of Homewood. They're going to be singing as well. They're going to be a wonderful trio of Rabbi Gorban, Cantor Berman, and where'd she go? And Cantor Schiller as well. Where's Janice? Janice and Laura are going to do klezmer music. Barbara and I, for the first time, are going to sing Do You Love Me from Fiddler on the Roof. This is our 40th anniversary this year. Ellen knows we needed 45 minutes of practice because a liquid kept dropping on the sheet, not from Barbara, but from me. Rabbi Seth Adelson will be doing a duet with me, Erev Shoshanim, lots of different things, lots of different ways to be. And so we hope that you'll join us. Some of our teens will be joining us for prayer, a brief evening prayer and Havdalah to end Shabbat, and then into the concert at 7:30. Benji, we are so honored by your Torah, by your not only the Torah of your words, but the Torah of your presence, which lifts everyone with us. And I want to thank Cantor Berman for all that you've done to help facilitate this through all of our various iterations of music here. Thank you so much, Laura. And thank you, Rabbi Gorban, for, again, your incredible slides. Thank you to Ellen and to Laura as well, and to everybody who helped make this possible. So it can't be done. There are people here who unfortunately have to say Kaddish. There are people here who need yard site plaques dedicated. There are people here who want to celebrate with this wonderful family. And yet together, with all of our different needs and wants, we create community. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you, as you are able, to rise for the final section of our service, which starts with Aleinu. Please rise as you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekru la liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu kor'im, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמן והיה אדוני למלך על כל העם. Please be seated. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו I've also been asked to announce that there is a Watts cooking class on the 13th, and that the library has been reorganized with tremendous love and effort by our library committee, and they'll host a special oneg on the 17th. Before we offer our Yartzeit Kaddish list, we note in Ecclesiastes, Kohelet says there is a time to live and a time to die. And one family has come here tonight to dedicate 4 plaques in memory of their beloved family members. And we honor tonight the memories of Norman Wedner, of Sanford Wedner, Yetta Wedner, and Joseph Wedner. These plaques of memorial will go up on our wall immediately after our service, and I invite you to join me after the service to place those in their place of honor on our Yartzeit wall. We, in the name of the family of Wedner, in the presence of this community, hereby consecrate and dedicate these holy plaques of memory. It is our custom at Temple Sinai, as we read the Yartzeit list, if you are saying Kaddish for someone tonight, that you rise in your place so we can recognize you as a mourner. After the Yartzeits, I'll read the names of those who have recently died. Again, if you are saying Kaddish tonight for someone you love, we'll ask you to rise in your place. And then at the very end, when we see who the mourners are, we will rise and accompany them so that no mourner ever need stand alone. This week we commemorate the memories of Lenore Adelson, Sarah Baumfeld, Meyer Berger, Henry Burke, and Lillian W. Kramer, Rosalie Cutright, Dr. John Ekstrand and Julius Fromer, Bernard Gomberg and Samuel Hackman, Rachel Hagiag and Velma Hall, Goldie Handelsman and Beatrice Herman, Lil Holstein and Harry Kelson, Louis Kaufman and Harry Kindler, Ida Claudel and Beatrice Klowski, Samuel Leff and Raphael Levin, Saul Mallinger, Sonia Mazo and Francis Myers, Robert Moser, Samuel Markowitz and Harris Neft, Jan Nicholson, Clara Ottenheimer, Laverne Paris and Jerry Peters, Samuel Posner, Rhoda Price, Dr. Henry Rahm and Lloyd Randall, Erica Reiber and Pearl Rubin, Gidel Soblowski, Alice C.C. Schiller, Howard Smith and Clara Solomon, Rose Solo and Jacob Steiger, Isaac Topol, Leah Solomon Weinstein and Sabina Binky Weinstein, Martha Weiss and Earl Wren Jr. and Jesse Yorkin. And now remember those whose recent deaths we still mourn: John F. Anderson, Jerry Roth, Ellen Solomon, Grace Moritz, and Morris Bangle. We rise with our mourners, and those who are saying Kaddish recite their Kaddish, and we respond as a congregation with the appropriate passages. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yomad Yivrach Hiruteh, V'yomlich Malchuteh, B'chai Echon, V'yom Echon, Chayed Chol Beit Yisrael, B'agalav V'zman Ko Yivyamu, Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mavoach, Le'olam Olamei Amayah, Yibarach, Yishtabach, Yipa'ar, V'tomam, V'tnaseh, Yitadar, V'taleh, V'talal, Shmei Kudsha, Brichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush B'chata V'nechmata, Damiran B'yoma V'yimu, Amen. Yehei Shlomo Haba Min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimu, amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimu, amen. May the source of peace in the high heavens cause peace to descend on all of us, all Israel, upon a shattered world desperately hoping to find peace and healing, upon all of us here who mourn our beloved dead, as together we say, amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. We usually stand for our final song, but I think that you'll be blown away, so you need to sit down for this. Psalm 150 is the psalm that says, you pray to God with everything, the kitchen sink, the cymbals, the drums, your iPhone, anything you got. And I need the toph. Ethan, could you bring me the toph over here? And so you wrote this how many years ago?
1982.
Because you were in Jerusalem and floored, you once said, correct?
Sorry?
You were once in Jerusalem and floored by it all.
Right. My husband and I were, he was his first year of rabbinical school, and on Shabbat afternoons we would wander around Jerusalem, especially in the Old City. And on Shabbat afternoon, what you might hear is people sitting around the table or in their living rooms, if the windows were slightly open, singing. And what we heard were these intoxicating rhythms, Sephardic rhythms, Yemenite rhythms, and different styles from all over the world. And we were New York Jews. We thought we knew what Jewish sounded like. And I was, yes, absolutely amazed and intoxicated by it. And so tried to put that sense of wonder of the multiplicity of sounds of our people to this, as Rabbi Gibson just said, this psalm of inviting all of us in all of our melodies and all of our ways of being to sing together.
And before I neglect, we believe in the power of teaching each other and being good colleagues. We have a colleague here. Rabbi Bisno is here from Rodah Shalom. You are so welcome in this space, and you add honor to our moment here. Thank you for being here to celebrate Shabbat with us and the entire occasion, even when we go on a little long. Okay? Whenever.
I'm doing it a little slower.
And Sarah Perman, I apologize, the Emerita Rabbi of Greensburg. We're delighted that you're here too. I'm sorry I saw that way and not here. It's delightful to have both of you here. Any other rabbis I've missed? Or cantors?
Slower. Yes.
Hallelujah, b'kodsho, hallelujah, b'kiyauzo, hallelujah, b'kvodotav, hallelujah, kerogulo, hallelujah, b'kodsho, hallelujah, b'kiyauzo, hallelujah, b'kvodotav, hallelujah, kerogulo. Hallelujah, betake a shofar. Hallelujah, benever bechidor. Hallelujah, betov umachor. Hallelujah, beminim veugav. Hallelujah, b'tzalei zmana. Hallelujah, b'tzalei tua. Kol yishama, ve'olei hallelujah. Hallelujah, betake a shofar. Hallelujah, benever bechidor. Hallelujah, betov umachor. Hallelujah, beminim veugav. Shofar, hallelujah, benever vechidor, hallelujah, betov umachor, hallelujah, beminim veugav, hallelujah, betake a shofar, hallelujah, benever vechidor, hallelujah, בטוב ומחול, הללו, במיני ועוגב. הללו, בצלצלי שמה, הללו, בצלצלי תורה. אני שמה, לעולי, הללויה.
Bravo. Yasher koach. Ruchim atem b'voachem u'ruchim atem b'tzeitchem me'atav ad olam. May you be blessed every place you come into, and may you also be a blessing. And may you be blessed every place you go out to, and may you spread that blessing around the world as together we say,
Amen.
Baruch
Baruch
atah
atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei mizonot. Have a cookie.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.